It's all based on this platform of the operating system in our minds. It's one built by 8 billion pairs of hands.
Jay, you're a creator, a maker, an inventor, an entrepreneur. You've been teaching kids to build, to code, to engineer all sorts of exciting futures. Why do you believe that education itself needs to be reinvented?
The future of humans has a lot of things tied up in it, right? Like, what will change humanity the most? Being an interplanetary species, having a chip implanted in our brain and being kind of cyborgish, or is it decentralized governments and decentralized currencies? All of these things are going to have a big influence on humans, but I would say that the way we educate this populace of people and the human 2.0 operating system that we put into humans is how we get all of these things. All the people who invented these things, all the teams that bring them to fruition, it's all based on this platform of the operating system in our minds. We're no longer in an industrial revolution. The model was just created wrong for today. It might have been valuable to sit at a desk and listen when knowledge was really scarce.
The version of education I experienced was, you're in your rows and columns in class, and they're sort of filling your eyes and ears with the knowledge, right? Almost like they're topping off a gas tank. And what I'm hearing in your telling of the tale is that it's not about filling that black box, it's about teaching people to be builders. That we don't need to be filled to be prepared for some future, but we need to be inspired to create these futures.
And even taking one step back, education isn't filling a bucket, it's lighting a fire. And what we need is to make the world a better place, but what the world needs isn't what we think it needs. What the world needs is for us to come alive. So what we need to do is figure out what kind of education would make people come alive, because that's what the world needs, which is very natural if you have the right creative platforms to build on top of. Then the world could change overnight. We see some really amazing technologies coming online now. So let's see, how could we use machine learning and what people are calling AI, and also, like video streaming, which seems pretty basic, but if you combine those things together and you understand that people have their own unique learning style, then what we can do is, rather than trying to test whether people are smart, we can test whether we have a good match between the learning style that they have and the delivery mechanism. So we make the system better and better because the loop is closed, just by understanding that people all learn differently. Because the way that humans work is changing, and the things we literally need to do at work is changing, and the kinds of machines we have available to do the work is changing. So we can design our learning products so that people are forced to think critically, are forced to think for themselves, and not to come to a conclusion that was drawn before they got there. The type of things that we need from our future workforce is people who are asking questions, connecting things together, and answering questions that weren't asked, which means they're asking their own questions.
Looking over the horizon, what is it that you hope to see?
I want to live in a world that we all build together. I think it's good to work in teams, and 3 years from now, we're going to have 16 gigahands, that's 16 billion hands, 8 billion people that are collectively working together. The utopia that I want to live in is one built by 8 billion pairs of hands coming together in a mosaic that will be so beautiful that we can't look away.
Hi, I'm Mike Bechtel. We look through the long lens to make heads or tails of where the world's headed, to harness tailwinds, dodge headwinds, and arrive at our preferred tomorrow ever so slightly ahead of schedule. This is Brief Histories of the Future.